All right, good evening, everybody. We are going to see if we can get a few more of our Dunbar families to log on here this evening. I do want to let you guys know we are recording this presentation for those who are not available to join us tonight. So if your camera is on, just know that everything's being recorded here, and if everyone can keep their microphone on mute for the duration of the start of my presentation, that would be great. And then at the end, we will allow for some time for you to unmute your mic, come on, and ask any questions that you might have aloud for the good of the group. And then, of course, if you feel more comfortable, there's always that chat feature option there. I will do my best to monitor the chat box as I go through this short presentation here. So I will catch you back in about 2 more minutes. We'll give everybody just another moment to log on. I just sent out another text, so hopefully we'll have some more people joining us. All right, thanks everyone for being here. My name is Miss Quintine. For those of you who do not know me, I'm the Magnet Lead teacher here at Dunbar. So some of you have worked with me on your child's transition here to Dunbar when they first came. I am in charge of the Medical Magnet program here, and I wanted to share with you some tips about applying to middle school, because although I was responsible for getting your child here, I want to help make sure that you all have a plan for middle school that's coming up. And I know that it's only October. It's kind of crazy to think about how this is even possible to start thinking about middle school, but it's this time of year to start thinking about your child's next steps. So I want to help support you on that journey, and this will be a short presentation on how you can do that and how we can help support you in your decision-making process when it comes to finding a middle school. So if at any time you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat box. I will allow time at the end for out loud question and answers. We may have some people joining us. I just allowed people to join the meeting without having to stop in the waiting room. So hopefully they will have their microphones muted when they join. And I just want to say one final reminder, this meeting is being recorded. So if you have your microphone on or your camera on, just be cautious of what's going on around you so that we can share this video with some of our other families who may not be able to make it tonight. So I'm going to just share this for you very quickly. There are tons of middle school options, you guys. I can't even begin to tell you how much our magnet community has grown in the last couple years in Hillsborough County. We have tons of different schools that I'm just going to kind of flash on the screen here, some of the different options. This is all pulled from the district website. Science magnet middle schools. We have IB magnet middle schools. We have an all girls Cambridge Academy magnet middle school. We have an all boys Cambridge. There are several different K-8s, which are typically a little bit harder to get into since most of their kids coming from their elementary side of the school typically work their way up into middle, but there are several K-8s available. Lots of visual and performing arts. If your child is interested in the art areas, Progress Village, Orange Grove, very popular art schools schools to attend. We have lots of science and STEM schools. Of course, our favorite, our sister middle school, SLY, Academy of Medical and Sports Science, is a big one. We have Stewart right around the corner with the engineering program. They have a big NASA and space program, and several other IB programs that are available throughout the county that your child may be interested in if they're looking for a heavier course load. Being that we are a medical elementary school, I of course want to start off just by sharing the obvious, the pathway through the medical field. If your child is still wanting to continue on this track, whether that is into nursing, becoming a doctor, working in a hospital, a doctor's office, veterinary care, we highly recommend keeping this medical pathway in your child's journey to keep up with the vocabulary, learning the different body systems. And right now, SLY Middle School has their own medical and sports science academy. A lot of parents have preconceived notions about SLY, things that have happened in the past, but I can assure you there has been a huge turnaround at that school. We've been working very closely with them to help them build their magnet program as well. And then, of course, we have one of our local community partners, Titus O'Neill, a big WWE star who's adopted them, pumping tons of money, tons of support into their medical and sports science program. And we've formed a really strong relationship with them over the last couple years. So definitely, if your child is interested in continuing this journey into medical, check out SLY, and that's a great place to be. Science as well. Stewart is right around the corner here. For sure, a great option for the STEM field. Moving on from middle school, just so you can kind of get the big picture, we have some different high schools that are available for your child to attend after they finish either at SLY or Stewart or any other magnet middle school in the county. If they're wanting to get back into that medical field, we do have our new D.W. Waters Medical Academy that's opening in 2023. So they are rebranding, renaming, and totally redoing the old D.W. Waters, and it will be a medical academy only for nursing, EMTs, radiology, and I believe electrocardiology, something crazy like that. So we're really excited that they're joining our pathway and that our students will have another option to get into the medical field. Of course, there's tech with a health professions program, a veterinarian program. So if your child is on the House of Zoology, interested in animals, they've got that over there. And then there's a biomed program over at Middleton High School. So these are just some options for that medical field for those of you who want your child to continue on this track, or the kids that want to continue their journey into being a medical professional. We would love to see them come back to us one day and see their journey that they're on. If they're not interested in the medical field, there's tons of other schools that you can apply to no matter what your child's interested in. And I did flash a few of those different ones on the screen there. But what school should you apply to first? I would start by talking to your child, getting to know what they're interested in. Do they want to stay in the medical field? Do they want to come out? Do they want to stay in science? Do they want to change to arts? Maybe they learned to really enjoy their art class, and maybe it's something they want to take up. Start by talking to your child and seeing what their hobbies are, so you can start doing research on what schools match with that interest. So not every school has all of these programs, right? There's specific schools with specific programs. So you're going to want to see, okay, what are the STEM schools? What are the art schools? What are the medical schools? And visit their social media sites. There's pictures on there. They capture day-to-day happenings. I like the social media pages a little bit better than the websites, because whoever's running that social media page, such as a lead teacher like myself, they're constantly updating in real time. You're seeing what's happening from day to day. The school's website's a great place to go for information, to read up on the program and what they offer. You're not going to see that real life day-to-day happening on the website because they're not updated as often. So check out their social media pages, and then of course go out to the schools themselves. So once you start doing research, maybe you start narrowing your school options down, some of the ones that your child's interested to, I would call up the school, go on their website, schedule a tour with them so that you can go out and get a feel for the campus, for the community that they're building there, and to try to see if it's a fit. If you need to take your child out of school at any point to go over to these schools to do those tours, you are welcome to bring them. Just let us know that you're signing them out to do a tour at a middle school. And then if during the day is not an option for you, let's say you work during the day and maybe you can't get over to the school, we have marketing events in the community where all of the magnet middle schools will be out at different nights throughout the fall semester for parents and families to speak to. So like many of you met me at Dunbar's marketing events out in the community, these magnet middle schools will also be there with tables set up, and I'll give you all those dates in just a little bit. So find a way to speak to the school and get to the school directly. That's going to be your best bet. In terms of the community events date where all of these people are doing their marketing, the first one is STEMtastic coming up on October 27th. That's at the Florida Aquarium. These are held after hours, usually 5:30 to 7:30 or 6 to 7:30. The STEMtastic event that's coming up at the aquarium is only for STEM schools. I do not have a list of the schools that are attending. I'm hoping to get my hands on that to see, but if it's science-based, it will be there. I don't imagine that any of the art schools will be there. So if you're looking for a Progress Village, it's probably not going to be in attendance for that one. However, the Magnet Expo, which is the biggest event of the year, all schools will be in attendance at that big expo event. And the district is still working on an exact date for that. I do know it will be the first week of November. I was told not to share that, but I do want to let you know so you can kind of mark your calendars. And as soon as I have that information, I will get that out to you. Again, it will be 5:30 to 7:30. Location is still to be announced. That's why they haven't released the date yet. They're still working on a location. So this expo, you guys, would be the best event to go out to. They normally have it on a Friday night so that families can start their weekend like this. It's not as much pressure during the week. It's a Friday afternoon. We can stay out late, go out to dinner, meet these schools, and then kind of start your weekend from there. So I'm hoping they'll keep it on a Friday night again, but I know they were playing around with some of the dates during the week with some of the locations. So keep your eye out for that, and I will send all of this out for you guys so that you have it. Feel free to take notes, but I will send this presentation. I will keep you updated within our newsletters or our parent link messages so you know when everything's happening. The last thing that they are doing this year that is new for our community events, they're starting new regional adventures. So obviously Hillsborough County is very big. They are dividing the county up into northwest, southeast, this way, that way. So they're holding different events in different areas of the county. They'll be holding different dates for different areas. The locations are at a magnet school. They're just all over the place. I would suggest going onto the district website and looking to see what region you might be interested in visiting. I assume the schools that are housed in that region would be in attendance. So if they did a West Tampa region, I would have to be there for Dunbar. If they did a South County region event date, DW Waters would be in attendance. So it just kind of depends on what region of the county the schools are at, and then you can decide if you want to drive out to those regions of the counties to go see those schools. So that's, new this year. Don't know if I love it yet. It's still new to me. I'll let you know how it goes, but definitely try to make it to the expo. Out of those three, I would say that would be the one to go to so you could hit everybody at one time. And those schools, like I said, will have tables set up, information flyers. You can schedule a tour with the people there. They'll have giveaways. That's definitely the event that you want to check out. To learn about all these magnet middle schools and to see where I'm pulling this information from, I'm just getting this all from the district website. You literally can type in Hillsborough County Magnet Schools, and it's like the first link that pops up. If you go through the magnet school, or excuse me, if you go through the district website and you want to click around, this departments tab is where you want to go, and then click on magnet schools, and it will lead you to this overview page. This main menu will show you how to apply, all of the magnet schools that are available, all of their programs. It will have hyperlinks to all of their websites. There's an FAQ page, and then all of those important dates that I was telling you about, all the community event dates, the times, the locations, everything is on there. So definitely click around and check out the district website for more information so you can learn and start your research. All right, I can hear some feedback. I just want to check if it's me or if someone has their mic on. If everyone could just check your microphones for 1 second, because we are recording. I want to make sure everyone can hear me, and so that the recording is clear for those who are joining us later or watching this at a later time. That would be great. All right, let me click back here. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I know this is tough being virtual, but I want to reach as many families as I can without having everybody come out here. Okay, so applying. when you apply to a magnet middle school, you have to go on to that same website where you applied to come to Dunbar through the district website, right back here at that apply button. And I'll give you the link in just a second, but you'll click apply. That window for application period 1, this is where you're really going to want to consider applying. That opens October 27th and it runs through December 16th. This is when application period 1 will be open, where you can go in and choose your magnet middle school. During application period 1 only, this is very important. I want to make sure that everybody hears this. You can choose any magnet middle school in Hillsborough County and get an automatic seat. Okay, so what that means is that there's no lottery process. You will pick the one school you want your child to attend, and they will honor that as part of you being in the magnet family. It's like a little bit of a perk, right? You joined our magnet family in elementary here at Dunbar. We want to keep you in the magnet family so that your child can keep going with this experience. And I know many of you want to keep that experience for your child. So that means, yes, during this period, you need to choose the school that your kid is going to. Sounds crazy to do at the beginning of the year right now, but this is the prime time to grab those seats and to get a seat at the school you really want. That means at the end of this month, it will be open, so you're going to want to start your research now. Now, it doesn't matter if you apply on October 27th or on the last day, December 16th. Your chances are equal. So you'll have time between the open and the close of the application to visit these schools, to do your tours, to go out and speak to representatives at the community events, so that you can better make a decision for your child. So you don't need to have your decision ready to go by the 27th. If you do, that's great. Go ahead and apply. If you know that you want them to 100% go to SLY so they can continue medical, absolutely, by any means, apply the first day, get that application out of the way. But if you need more time to make a decision, touring the schools, talking, asking questions, you have until the 16th to do that. So it does not matter at what point, it does not matter who's first, second, third. If the school has open seats, you will get that automatic seat. This is only during application period 1 only. Okay, this does not apply for a spring application period. They don't even have dates listed on here yet, guys. This is from the district website that I pulled this. It's typically in March, but I guarantee you seats will be very limited at that time, and you will have to go through the lottery process in the spring. So if you know you want your child to go to a specific school, definitely apply now. And Miss Krim is here.
Hi guys, I just wanted to say hi to everyone. I hope you guys are having a great night.
We got some great families on here, more than I thought. So.
Yay, very cool.
We're learning about applying. So again, application period 1 is when you get the automatic seat, and you do that online at hillsboroschools.org/choice. And you can get there by, again, going back to that district website, departments, magnet schools, and hitting that apply button will bring you right to this portal. Many of you already have accounts created because you applied here to Dunbar. So you'll log in as a current student or previously applied, and it will bring you through that application portal. That is the next couple pages in the application will ask you to pick automatic seat, 5th grade. What school do you want? Look very carefully for that wording in here. I wish I had a screenshot of it, but I don't. But I believe there's a drop down at the top that says automatic seat. Do you want an automatic seat? Whatever it says, click yes, and then choose the school. You want to make sure you have that. Otherwise, you will run into the lottery. You won't get the automatic seat. You will not find out what seat you get until late January. So I do want to be very clear about that. They don't run the results of the application until late January 2023. So although you're applying fall, winter, we are not going to hear anything until after the new year. So just so you know, you will have to wait a little bit for the results. Even though it's an automatic seat, the official paperwork won't come in until January. So applying can seem a little bit scary. If you need assistance, please come in and schedule an appointment with me. You can email me, you can call the school, we can set up an appointment, you can come sit down and use our computers here. I can kind of walk you through it if that's needed. If you feel confident doing it on your own, you can go ahead and just go and do that on your own time while you're home. Log on to the website. There will be tables set up at all these different community events. They'll have QR codes for you to scan. The application will pop up. and you can do it that way while you're out in the community and apply right there on the spot. The Magnet office is doing virtual events by Ms. Krim. The Magnet office is doing virtual events. They're calling them Magnet 101 sessions to kind of go through how to apply, where to click, blah, blah, blah. If you feel you need that extra support, definitely log in. It's the Magnet supervisor from the district who will be running those. There are 2 of them this semester before the window closes October 25th and December 13th. Those are from 5:30 to 6:30. I did not quite see a link on the district website for those yet, but they will be there. You will have to register for the event to get the Zoom code or the Teams code. So what should you do next? You're hearing about all these great schools. You know you have to apply soon, but it's like, oh my gosh, my kid just got to Dunbar. It's 5th grade. It's October. What do I need to do? So of course, ask your child, like we talked about, what they're interested in, where they might want to go. They probably don't know about a whole bunch of these middle schools. I will tell you that Sly and Stewart will both be here on campus during the school day to present to the 5th graders. I believe one is next Friday. Yep, next Friday, the 21st. I think that's going to be Stewart. And then the following Monday, the 24th, Sly will be here to give presentations to the kids. And we honor those on campus. So, you know, obviously there are sister schools, we want them to be here, but just so that your students can kind of get an idea of, okay, it's time to start thinking of middle school. What am I interested in? Do I want to keep doing the medical? Do I want to stay in science? Unfortunately, we can't have every Magnet middle school out, but this will at least spark their minds so that you can start talking to them about where they might want to go. And you can go onto that district website and see all the different options. Like I said, start doing your online research, follow their social media, get on Twitter. A lot of these schools are on Twitter. I know it's not like the big social media with like personal and families, but for whatever reason, Twitter and education is huge. Everybody's on Twitter. Some of them have Facebook, not many of them Instagram, but check them out. Check out their website, read about their program, their offerings from their website. And then, of course, schedule a tour with the school directly. You're going to want to get on the tour schedule pretty early on so that you have time to then visit other schools if you need to. Let's say you go to a school and you're not really feeling it. You're going to want to leave yourself enough time to schedule another one with someone different. And then some of them, you know, their tour schedules might be during school hours for security purposes. They might be limited hours based on the person's schedule. So just get ahead of it, start scheduling them now. Don't wait until last minute so that you can get in. Attend those online and in-person Magnet community events. You can find those on the district webpage as well to see when they are. And then while you're touring these schools and going to these events to talk to school personnel, I suggest just preparing like a list of questions that you might have for them. And I put a couple different like bullets of ideas down there because it's like, well, what do I ask them, Ms. Q? What should I be asking them for? You know, if you typically ride the bus in, you know, ask them about the transportation. Make sure that there's a strong course schedule that your child will be challenged with. Ask them about their Magnet program. What does that look like? Are there specific classes built into their schedule? Is this an after school thing? Is this during school? Like, what does that look like? Are there any requirements for the Magnet program? Do they need a certain uniform? Are the scrubs continuing? Just kind of thinking about those sorts of questions. And then of course, if your child has an IEP or any type of specialized services, ask about those. Ask if there's an orientation. Can my child come out and see the school beforehand? A lot of schools do that over the summer. Will they have those? So just a couple ideas there. Have a list of questions ready for them. And then don't forget to apply online between October 29th and December 11th. Did I have those dates right? October 27th, that's from last year. So sorry, I did not change that. So application dates October 27th through December 16th. And this screenshot is also from last year. So please disregard the 2021 dates. I apologize. Using the same PowerPoint from last year, just updated a couple things. So if you're needing help, if you have more questions about this, I am here to answer them right now. We have just a few minutes left, so we can unmute our microphones. You can ask out loud. You can email me directly, but I would suggest reaching out to the school that you're interested in directly. Ask for the lead teacher in charge of the Magnet program. Ask for their assistant principal if that person is not available. If you have questions regarding the application process, the application, or anything like technical on that end, I would contact contact the district directly for that, that would be the Office of Student Planning and Placement. And I put their phone number there, 272-4692. That's on the website as well. But that is basically the gist about applying to middle school, when to do it, and how to kind of start that process. So does anyone have questions for me regarding the process? I don't know everything about every school, but I can share what I know about applying to them, or specific questions about their program I may be able to answer. Feel free to unmute your mic. Go ahead.
This is Soraya Tanila's mom. I
Hey.
just wanted to know. Hi. I just want to know, is there another program that kind of mimics? I kind of looked around and I saw Fly Middle was one that kind of mimics your program.
Yeah.
Do you know of any others, or is that the only one?
Right now, that is the only middle school with a medical program. So we are hoping there will be more in the next couple of years. I know they're starting to expand some of the options, but SLY right now is the only one offering a specific medical program.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have questions for me? And I'm just going to share this one more time because I'm on the district website right now. So if I just go to hillsboroschools.org, you'll want to click on this departments tab that's up at the top. And then you'll want to find the Magnet office. You can search by going to M, Magnet Schools. And everything is right here on this left toolbar. So you can click on Magnet Middle Schools and see all of the options that are in the county. And you can kind of go from there to start your research. Did someone have a question?
Yeah, so the SLY is the only medical middle school?
Correct.
And which one is the good middle school for architecture or technology?
Architecture, I'm not sure I'm seeing architecture on here. There's visual and performing arts at Orange Grove and Progress Village. There might be some design classes there. You might want to call over and see. I don't know if they would have anything specific to architecture, but you could ask about their art program for design. And then technology, you have Stewart Middle School. They have science, technology, engineering, and math. So they're a major STEM school, and they're actually right around the corner from us here.
Okay.
That would be one to look at. In terms of other science schools, you have Dowdell, which is environmental studies. And I know that some of these IB schools, it doesn't say much about, what that all entails, but what I do know about IB is that it's a little bit of a heavier course load. So schools like Williams, Walker, Monroe, their IB schools programs are not necessarily a theme, but more of them applying through the IB courses, and they can get high school credit and college credit if they continue through the IB program. I am in no way an expert about what IB means or what that looks like, but if you're interested in that for your child to help challenge them, call the schools, ask them what it's like. What does it mean to be IB? Do you have to apply to get in the program? What does the course load typically look like? Because I do know with the IB schools, it is a little bit of a heftier and more, let's just not heftier, but maybe more rigorous program.
So for IB, where they will get will be able to use those credit when they get into the university?
There should be courses that they can take if they pass IB exams. That usually comes in high school. If they continue with the IB, those would be transferred to college credit. So I don't know exactly for sure all the stipulations behind it. I know they have to have a certain score, and that's totally out of our ball field because we're not an IB school here. So I don't know a whole bunch, but you could call them and ask them, how would my child earn the credit for college through this IB program? That would be a great question to ask them. But I do know there are tests involved.
So if my child goes to a medical magnet, and then if she goes to IB middle school, so medical magnet middle school, and then IB
for high school,
middle school.
For middle school,
Yeah,
they
so
wouldn't
what
have
would be the difference?
They wouldn't have the medical at those IB schools. So medical is unique to certain schools. So for middle school, grades 6, 7, and 8, the only school that offers medical is SLY.
No, I mean, if they, like, suppose if they go to medical middle school instead of IB middle school, so how they will gain when they get to the medical school?
How would they gain credit? Is that
Gain
what you're
means
asking?
gain, or what advantage will they have?
What eventually, well, they would have specific courses in the medical field. So if they're interested in that topic, instead of an IB course, they would be taking medical courses. So they would be learning more about the human body, more in depth. They would have different labs. I know they do a lot of dissecting over at SLY. They do a lot of hands-on physical therapy. The sports sciences got really big. So those classes would be specific to the medical field. Whereas at the IB school, they would not get medical. It would be just their typical reading, math, science, maybe at a higher level. And you would have to click on, if we clicked on South Tampa at Monroe, this is just sitting right here. You would have to go in and read some of what that means. I don't necessarily know.
No, I mean,
what
when
IB
you
is.
say the medical field,
Uh-huh.
so if she goes to medical magnet middle school,
At
so
SLY.
is this will that prepare her for medical field, or if she wants to go to the to becomes a doctor?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That would 100% prepare. That's the pathway that we're kind of creating for these kids so that they are prepared to enter, the workforce because, the district, of course, with this new addition of DW Waters, this new academy will be ready for them when they get to high school. And they're going to be basically work ready, career ready by the time they leave. So all of the learning that they'll be doing, even in middle school, will help build their background knowledge on science vocabulary, human body vocabulary. It may not be as deep as them going to like a for real med school per se, but it's building the foundation so that when they get up to those high school level classes and then eventually to college level, they've already built a foundation from the early age. So it will definitely set your child up. And then, of course, when you get to high school, that's where more opportunities arise. They have opportunities for after school clubs. They have nursing programs after school, different honor societies that students can be a part of. Our own Dr. Frederick, who supports our fifth graders and sponsors our white coat ceremony. He works really closely with the students at Tampa Bay Tech High School and their med program, their nursing program to prepare them for the medical field. So there will be more opportunities, the higher or the further on that they advance in their education for them to be career ready.
So how they will compete with someone who has advanced skill or knowledge from the IB school?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, here's the thing. The IB school is a much more rigorous content. So if that's what you're looking for, the challenge, I would say go the IB route. It's not going to hurt them. And it doesn't mean that they can't wind up going into the medical field later. They absolutely can. There are plenty of people that didn't go through, a medical magnet and still wound up in the medical field. So while it's not required, it's just a fun opportunity for your child to get their feet wet in the medical field at a young age. So they will still have to take the same state assessments no matter what school they go to. Those are the new FAST assessments this year, the old FSA. They will still have to take their end of course exams. Everything's kind of the same that way, but IB is just like a little bit more on top of what everybody else already does. And then for the medical program, it's just they're getting that exposure to medical curriculum. Whereas at all these other magnet schools, they might be getting other exposures depending on their theme.
Okay. All right.
I know that doesn't totally answer your question. No matter what, your child will have the opportunity to, of course, follow their dreams.
No,
But
I mean, if anybody comes from the IB school with advanced, rigorous method, and how they will be able to compete, right?
Of course, they will 100%. Yep. They will 100% be very competitive with IB on their transcript. There's no doubt about that. High schools have different ways of getting into them. I know you have to have certain community service hours. High school's in a whole nother ballgame. I don't know too much about it, but I do know that they'll prepare you when you get to that point to make those decisions. But any of these schools are great. I know most of the people that run the programs at all these schools just from networking with within our Magnet family. So no matter what you guys decide to do, they will 100% support your child. And then, of course, you know, if they don't, or there's issues that go on, you just talk to the school. I will say at middle school is very different from elementary school. Like here, we're a big family. It's very connected. We look out for our kids. When they start getting to middle school, you know, it kind of, all of that extra support starts to pull back because they're forming into young adults and they start becoming more independent. So it will be definitely a big adjustment going to middle school, but this is how we prepare them for life. And so you may have to stay on top of the school a little bit more. They may not be as communicative as us, as loving. I love Dunbar. We are so tiny. We have this great experience for our kids, but I can't say that every other school is like this, especially when it comes to middle school, when you have upwards of 500, 1,000 kids in a school. It's very different. They have different teachers. So definitely do your research and go out to the school. Feel the campus, meet the admin staff in the front office. Are they welcoming? Are they kind? Are they going to support your child? That's the best advice that I can give you all. Oh yeah, Miss Rosa has a middle schooler and her kids have been with us for many, many years. So she is saying that middle school is a different beast, and it sure is. No doubt.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's no longer the nurturing and caring and spoon feeding the kids. I mean, and I don't put blame on the school or the teachers. It's just that it's overwhelming because the capacity of children that they handle is much larger than the smaller school. But I have to call the teachers and be on top of them. How's my child doing? Is there anything the child needs? Is there anything you need? Because it's almost a high school campus, to be honest with you, at least where my son is at. He's at Young Middle Magnet, and that's the case. I've had to set up appointments with the principal, with the, you know, and he does fine, but I'm one of those parents that's on top of my children's education. You know that, Miss Q. But I'm the one having to, which I guess is a good thing when they're not calling you, but at the same time, you don't want to be absent or ignorant to anything that's going on with your child in their education. But middle school is a different beast. It definitely is.
Good advice. Stay on top of it. Be communicative with them. Ask questions if you're not hearing from them. Definitely speak up. And that goes for our staff as well. If there's anything we can do to make your child's experience better here for their last year. I know this is like crazy. It's their last year of 5th grade. It's going to go by in a flash. I don't mean to scare you, but we got a lot of stuff going on and you blink and it's time. So please let us know if there's anything we can do to support them through the end of the year. I know it's still early on. I know no one is ready. I'm not ready. And a lot of your kids have been with us since kindergarten. So it's going to be a tearjerker at the end of the year, but we love them so much. We want to support them this last year, make sure it's an unforgettable year while still thinking about their futures and what they're going to do and where they're going to go, what options that they have. So please let me know. Like I said, if you need to set up an appointment, if you want to talk anything through. I don't know what every school is about, especially because they're all over the county. You know, I've been here in this little West Tampa bubble at Dunbar for 8 years, so I don't know what else is out there in the world. So go see the schools, talk to them yourselves, visit the community events where the tables will be set up and you can talk to them directly. But we're here to support you, like I said, and we've got a lot of great things coming up. We have Slime Night coming up next week, so I hope you guys can make it next Thursday. The invitations will go home tomorrow. We have tons of newsletters that are going to go out. The newsletter that went out yesterday, there's tons of stuff in it. Please read through that. Red Ribbon Week, dress up days, book fair, fundraiser. There's so much going on. So enjoy this while it's here, because I promise you in middle school, like Miss Rosa said, it is a different beast. We will not get this. So enjoy your last year with your child, and please let us know how I can support. Does anybody have any last minute questions?
So how many middle school we can apply in one, like when the window?
So if you're doing the automatic seat, Miss Charter, if you're doing the automatic seat, it's just one. If you wind up going through the lottery, you can still pick up to 3. But the application will ask you, I believe this is how it's set up. It should say, are you applying for an automatic seat, a 5th grade automatic seat? That's the language you're going to want to look for. And you're going to want to say yes, or check the box, yes, automatic, so that you can get this seat at the one you want. You're going to want to get it right away, because when it comes to the spring, their seats are going to be limited. You may not get the school you want. Same thing with the lottery. If you apply the lottery and you pick 3 schools and you don't get the one you want, it's just, I would do your research, pick where you want your child to go, do the automatic seat and take advantage of that opportunity. That's new. They just started that the last couple of years to kind of like as a reward, not a reward, but like a gift, almost like a gift to the Magnet family. Like, thank you for being a part of our family. We want to keep you and give you this automatic seat so you don't have to go through the silly lottery, you know? So do your
if
research.
we choose the automatic, do we have to choose any specific school?
Yes, if you do the automatic, you'll be picking the school at that time during the
Like
application
only
process.
one school, only one school, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you have until December 17th, like I said, when the application window closes, from now until then to start doing all that research now so that you have time to pick that school. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So do we have to talk to you about that, or we can choose ourselves?
You don't have to. You can absolutely choose yourself. That's totally up to you and your family.
We want to choose because Athir, he goes 5th grade. So we want to choose automatic Stewart.
Yeah, that's fabulous. That's great.
So you gonna do everything now then?
Nope, I don't do it. You will have to apply.
We have to go Stewart website and then apply there, right?
Yep, not on the Stewart website. It's right where I showed you, and I'm going to send this out again. It's on the district website.
Yes.
So you'll have to apply just the same way you apply to Dunbar through that application. It's the same way. You'll just pick Stewart this time.
Automatic and Stewart, right? Okay.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah, and that'll
so
open at the end. Go ahead.
Did I hear you correctly? Did you say it's you can choose an automatic seat for 6th grade?
For 6th grade, correct. So this application period only, it's an automatic seat for whichever Magnet Middle School you want. So if you came in late, I was talking to them about how it's sort of like a gift from the Magnet program that they started a couple years ago, where you can pick any Magnet school in this application period only, or what is this month? I don't even know what month we're in, guys. October 27th through December 16th. You can pick whichever one you want. You'll have to go into the application after you apply through this page, and Mr. Chowdhury, this is the application. I don't know if you remember it, but this is where you're going to apply here. Yeah. So once you get past this page, when you put your children's information in, you'll put Tanila's, Arthur's, all your kids' information in. The next page, it will say somewhere at the top, are you applying for an automatic seat? And you will check yes, and you will pick whichever school you want. And that's only during this application window only. They will not honor that later on. They don't even have dates out for it yet. So I suggest doing that now, taking advantage of that opportunity, getting the automatic seat so you know your kid is set, done, has a spot, because once that spring application period comes around, half of those seats are going to be taken up. 3/4 of them are going to be gone. They may not have a seat for your kid later on this year. So do it now, apply with the automatic seat, pick the school you want so you don't have to do the lottery and be like, oh, I really hope they get into Orange Grove. Oh, I really hope they get into Sly. No, you're automatically going to get in. That's where you want your kid to go. Send them there and just be done with it. That would be my best advice to all of you. Does that make sense?
Yes. And another question, because so is it like Magnet is like more like hands-on and Ivy more like theoretical?
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
The IB schools are definitely a lot more.
Hands-on,
And I don't know, Miss Rosa is as young IB?
It's not. No.
I was going to say, I wonder if you could chime in on some of that. I don't really know much about the IB.
I mean, but it feels like it, but it's not. Being that Lewis was in those advanced courses, because he does. My son, he's in 7th grade doing 8th grade courses, and he's also in honor roll. It almost feels as IB. So for those parents that also want to keep them in the regular Magnet, don't be discouraged. There's a lot of great schools out there, because young at first. Listen to Miss Q, because I was one of them last year that did not listen to the automatic seat, and I could not get my son in Stewart for the life of me, even when I tried in the spring and in the summer. He ended up at Young, and Young is an amazing school. It's an amazing school. He loves it there.
And they have a big science program there too, right?
They do have a huge science program, and also they have a big cybersecurity team, which Lewis is a part of. He was just telling me about upcoming competition this week, and they treat him, those that are in advanced courses, I kid you not, as if they were in an IB school, because the amount of work he does. I am intimidated by it and I'm his parent, but
Sure.
he does well. It's very challenging for him, but it keeps them going. It doesn't keep them bored. And most of the same students are in the same classes also. So it's not like they're scattered, which was one of my concerns about middle school. Had he just been in the regular courses in 7th grade, but because he's in advanced and honor roll, they keep all of them together, which is pretty cool.
Yep. And that's a really good point. And that brings this up. If your child is scoring at a higher level, they will still be placed in courses that are appropriate for their academic level. So if your kid is performing high in math, they're going to be sitting in an advanced math course with children that are on their level. That's kind of the difference between elementary and middle. Based on their performance, they may be eligible to take different classes that are more challenging. So you don't have to go to an IB school for your kid to be challenged or to get an advanced math class. Just like Miss Rosa said, her son is advanced. He's taking higher ed courses with honor students. They travel as a group. So just because they slap that pretty little word IB on there doesn't make them, the best option for your child. You really have to think about the level of rigor that you're ready to handle and what your child's ready to handle. Because if he's that young and she's already saying, this is pretty tough coursework, I can't imagine what an IB level would be. And then, of course, you've got clubs and sports and things at night that you have to think about. So if you're considering an IB, by all means, if your child is ready for it, go for it. It looks amazing. But ask questions. What does the homework look like? Is there a syllabus or some form of document to show what the projects are for a year? What is this course load going to look like? So that you can kind of get those questions out and make a better decision for your child. Not trying to sway anybody the other way and say, don't do IB. They're great schools, but I know it's an attractor and it looks pretty, but it's not right for everybody. And so do your research for all schools, give them all a fair chance, and kind of get to know what they have to offer.
I agree, because I was going to say the same thing. Don't be discouraged because it's just magnet. A lot, young Dr. Barry is the principal, and the syllabus, all of them, when he went into 6th grade, I was a little bit intimidated because it was 6th grade and he already had syllabus for all his courses. So they are very structured, well structured at that. And the kids have their resources there as well. I don't know if they know also, Miss Q, with Lewis. Remember, I was not aware of, for his placement, they do it in the summer. They don't do it during the school year, the testing to determine. They do that in the summer prior to school starting. And I found out by chance. So just a little 411 for you parents. If you want to get your kids tested, especially in math, get the school that they're going to test them, find out what date they're going to do it during the summer, get them tested. And that's what determines their level, because I'm pretty impressed with Lewis' coursework. Next year, he's going to be in 8th grade, but he's going to be doing high school courses, earning her high school credit, which is pretty amazing. It's a pretty nice plan that the middle schools, and it's not just young, it's all of the young magnet middle schools that do it. From my understanding, they set up a plan for these students for when they go to high school. They're probably going to be above level than most schools, because most of the magnet schools are mixed with the regular public schools.
Yes, that is another good point for sure. Yeah. The magnet schools have a neighborhood side for kids who are not enrolled in the magnet program. Right. Most of them. I don't know if it's all, but yes, that's another good point too.
Young is also a magnet school?
It is. It is a fully magnet school.
Yeah. So, so Miss, you said like your child goes to Young. So which one is more, I don't know how to term it, like you like more between Young and Stuart?
So I'll tell you this, my daughter is the one going to middle school next year, and my daughter has chose Stuart. And I am of the belief, but that's my personal belief, I will let both my children have their identity. So my son will stay at Young and my daughter will be going to Stuart. And I actually did interview with Stuart when my son wanted to go there. And I like their program as well. They have a huge NASA program for those that are science buff, and that's their strength. And the teachers there, and Stuart is a little bit smaller than Young. Which I like that, but it's still a big middle school. But I like them equally. like Miss Q said, do the research, and
Yep.
they're very welcoming. So you can set up a time that you want to go and talk to them and get with the lead teacher there and walk the school. They'll give you the information. It's amazing. My daughter just now, that's what I was going to actually ask you, Miss Q. You did say that not young,
Stuart.
Sly and Stuart are going on campus, right? To
Yes.
talk to
Yep.
them.
Yep.
Okay,
They'll be here.
perfect. Because
Yep.
she's debating between both of them, but she wants to go where the pack goes, and I'm like, I'm sure you're gonna end up at Stewart, but we'll
Yep.
see.
Yep, and that happens sometimes. They want to know where their friends are going and who's going where. But at the end of the day, you as a parent, you've got to make the best decision for your child. They'll make new friends no matter where they go. They're going to see some Dunbar kids no matter where they go. We typically have, kids at both Sly and Stewart, so they won't be all alone in that journey. And of course, like I've been saying, go see the schools. That's the only way you're going to get the best decision. No one could say, oh, this school is better than this school or this one's the best, because everyone offers something different that makes them unique and special. So definitely go get a feel, do a tour, meet the people, and that way you will have an informed decision to better apply when it comes time.
Does
Even if the friends going there, don't be intimidated, because my son went to Young, and not one single Dunbar student went to Young. He adapted very well. He did amazing in that school. Has amazing friends even then. And I think sometimes that's also helpful, because that way they're not straying away from their academics and they're actually paying attention. But he's doing very well with his new set of friends, and he's still in contact with his older friends. So it works out both ways.
So does does Stuart have a cybersecurity program?
Young does, Stewart does not.
Okay.
Yes, correct. Young does. Stewart has the NASA program, which is amazing. I love their NASA program. They all the magnet schools, the middle magnets, have some type of sponsored program, and they're all as big. Again, like Miss Q said, I have to emphasize on that. Look at your child's strength as well, and focus on that. My son is into technology, so I was happy that he ended up at a school that is strong on technology and math, and those are his forte, math and technology, and he does amazing. And they make sure to involve those things. I think they're going to start a new program too for math, where they're going to start doing math bowls over there as well. So those are things you want to look into. That's why it's like, just call the school, get in contact with them,
and ask
all
away.
of them.
Yeah.
And being there will spark questions in your mind. You'll see things at the school.
My son is more like a mechanical, architectural thing, right? So he likes more like architectural and mechanical stuff. So
yeah, Mr. Chowdhury, let me contact my supervisor in the magnet office and see if anybody has anything that might work.
Okay, and then you said regular school, regular middle school, right? So how they are different from the IB and magnet?
They just don't have any specialized program. It's just reading, math, science, their normal courses.
Not even advanced, right? Okay.
They'll have advanced. Yep. Every middle school will place your child based on their level and how they perform on assessments. So you'll have that option if you're looking for your neighborhood school. But the magnet, that aspect, that piece, that specialized programming, that a little bit more that you get will be kind of gone. It's just your typical day-to-day courses.
Okay.
All right. All right, everybody. This is about all the time I have, because I'm still at Dunbar, actually, and they're going to get ready to set the alarms here at school. So I've got to get out of here. But please contact me if you have questions, if I can help point you in a certain direction. Miss Rosa, I'm so thankful for you to share all your experiences with us. It's so helpful having a parent on that has a kid in middle school, because I don't know everything about it. But if you have questions, please reach out, and we're happy to get you an answer or lead you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And start doing all that
We need your actually
research.
help, Miss Quintine, we need your help to find the appropriate middle school.
Yeah, for sure. Let me reach out to my supervisor to see if anybody has anything special that might interest Athir, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good night, everyone. You take care. I'll be sending out this recording. You're welcome. And I'll be sending out the PowerPoint so that you have all of this. It just might not be until tomorrow. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.